What's up, YouTube? What's up, Extreme Gains family? I'm Chuck. This is Extreme Gains. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is or ever will be financial advice. Please do not take it as such. Alright, this is going to be a long video. I'll tell you that right out of the gate. Because I need to try to pull all this together and articulate it in a way that you can understand and to display everything it is that I am finding and have found, and I'm trying to show you. Okay, so I've explained the algorithm in previous videos. For context, go watch those. Last week I put out a video regarding this. What I found in this was I went into micro time frames and uncovered that this entire macro fractal movement is being played out in each one of these time frames that are marked off by these vertical lines. I'm going to try not to get too excited because I already made one video and I was way too excited and I need to calm down. So anyways, they play out in each one of these. This entire movement does right here. So when I found that, I put these vertical markers in on the micro time frame. And when I zoomed out, the observation is obvious. We have equally allotted time frames in which the entire movement is playing out in. Then I made some observations on what it is that I found. And I'm trying to find it so I can read it to you. I read this in the video last week when I made it. When I looked at this, there's a few things I found right off the top of my head here. What I saw right away was that they are working in tandem, in twos. These two time frames, these two time frames, and these two time frames. And even though this whole thing plays out in each one of them, they work in tandem to make what it is that I'm going to eventually get at for you here. And they also are a little brother, big brother, little brother thing that's going on, right? We have big brother movement, not mirrored, but replicated little brother movement. This one here has an extension I'll get to in a minute. We have big brother movement. We have replicated little brother movement. We have big brother movement, and I believe we're getting replicated little brother movement. Okay. What I also noticed was, well, let me just read this. Here's what I wrote. I said, I think I figured this out, and it has aligned itself with the double bottom scenario. Each section is the same amount of time, and the entire macro algo fractal plays out within it. As you can see, it's in an alternating fashion of too low on support, too high midline support, and too low on support, with the larger movements leading to continued downside movement in the following fractal. The larger movement leads to continued downside into the following. The larger movement leads to continued downside in the following. The larger movement leads to continued downside in the following. And the smaller movements all lead to upside reversals after the bottom is made. The smaller movements lead to upside reversal, smaller movement, upside reversal, smaller movement, upside reversal, or I'm sorry, right here, smaller movement, upside reversal, and I think we're going to see smaller movement, upside reversal after each bottom is made. Bottom, 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 over here. The smaller movements also display an extended bottom alternating from end of fractal to beginning of fractal, right? This one here was from the middle to the end. There was an extended move. This one here was from the beginning to the middle. And this one here, I believe, again, will be replicating this and be from the middle to the end. And it lends itself to having two different outcomes, which it shows. And I believe that this is essentially tracking and making a connection and lending itself to being connected to the double bottom macro scenario that I've been talking about. That is what I put out, and that's a synopsis of the video that I put out on this. So with that in mind, I was watching this week for a few things. And what I saw this week kind of blew my mind, and it led me to what I'm about to really put together and show you. This is the 5-minute or 10-minute chart of, I believe it was Wednesday and Thursday. And this is our macro that we were in. And this was like a couple days ago, right? Or actually, this was Thursday when I took this screenshot. So the movement has actually come down here, right? And I'm going to show you where that is. But what I watched happen was this micro had caught up to, right? Like here, caught up to our macro, and it surpassed it or bypassed it and went past it and started making movements out here. So as you can see, it replicated it, right? Here, 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 move up, rejection, rejection, right? This is a box top here. I would draw it from here down. The box top pennant here from here down, right? We had this thing flatten out, and it made this cup over and cup under, right? It made this cup over and cup under. We had the move up to second rejection, move up to second rejection. This line needs pulled down in this screenshot. I'll show it. I already did it in the other one, in the live stuff that I'm going to show you. This was our move Friday. This was suggesting that would have been our move Friday, and it ended up being our move Friday. We ended up moving down here. I believe this is showing us what's coming up, starting here, where we're at right now in the live, and all this where it's been out is showing us future price movement. And now I'm going to prove that to you. So what I started thinking was, okay, is that showing? That was my thesis on this, or my theory. That's got to be showing us future price movement. And I thought, well, how can I prove whether or not it is? How can I back test whether or not it's doing that? And I thought, well, you got to go back to this fractal where because these, this is what I think we're replicating, right? You see how they're alternating bottom, midline, bottom. So if this is bottom, right, it's replicating these two, right? And it is. And you can see how this movement here is this movement here. All this movement here is this movement here. I've confirmed that. It's almost an identical replica of it. So I thought, well, you got to go back here and you got to look at the micro back here and see if it not only lines up and shows us starting here, micro and macro of this right here from like July 15th. Will it show us will the micro continue to show us all this if I continue to follow it? Because that would be back testing it to see if it's actually valid, right? And then what I also noticed, like I said, is it caught back up here. So I think it has looped around a few times, right? Because in the concept of what I've explained is in these algorithms, something has to be leading the rest. Excuse me. And it only makes sense that micro is moving faster and it is leading macro, right? So micro's spinning and going through all these moves, and it's going over and over and over again. And we know that because of what I've shown and proven and found in this scenario, where this entire thing, this entire movement plays out in here, plays out in here, plays out in here, plays out in here, right? So it's like it starts, it stops, it starts, it stops. So the idea is it's like a snake, right? The whole algorithm's like a snake. It's got a head and it's got a tail, right? Wherever the head goes, the tail eventually goes. So I believe the head is the micro time frame movements and the tail is the macro time frame movements. But I just had to prove that. I had to back test it and figure out, is that the case? And if that's the case, I had to come back to these two because I believed that these two are what we are replicating right here. And boy, did I find it. Oh my God, you guys. Okay. So what I did was I went back to, let me take this to macro. This is going to be hard to do, but I'm going to do it on here. This is the only way I can do it with these split screens like this. I went back to macro micro back to July 15th. Okay? Right here where it says start. July 15th. Right here. Right here. Now, what I did is I marked what the macro dates would be of where, how this went out, right? It caught up here and then it made these movements and it went out in front of its actual in place direct coordinated time spot within the fractals, the micro went out in front of it and made all these movements, and I needed to confirm whether or not it showed us all this up until where we're at now, because if it did, then I believe what has happened is it's caught up, and now our micro movements, now that we're seeing that it has now bypassed our macro, is going to show us where we're going in the future on our macro. Okay? That's got to make sense. Okay. So here it is. I'll walk you through it. And this is unreal. Listen, this is, before I do this, just so you guys know, I have been searching for this puzzle piece for an entire year. I have been breaking these algos down, and especially the AMC, from micro to macro, from macro to micro, inside out, outside in. This has been the missing puzzle piece to the entire thing. I've said that on the live streams. I've said it in my video. This is the absolute everything, because what this does, now that I'm about to show you, is not only confirm my entire theory, it confirms the algo, and it confirms that we're going to be able to see where we're going in the future before we go there. And this is absolute endgame as far as knowing this algorithm inside out. Watch this. Here we are, July 15th. July 15th. Here's our movement. We go up, up. We go up, up. We come back down in. Move this up. We come back down into the V. Here we are, August 5th. August 5th. Right? We move up. Right here. We move up here. We move up here. We move up here, and then we make this here, right? Look, we move up here. My God, this is awesome. We make our move here. We swoop down in on the micro. We flatten off, and we make our corner. We swoop down in. We make our corner. Not only that, look here, I'm going to zoom closer. It even makes the absolute exact candles. Look. So on the macro, we're at September 16th. On the micro, we've only moved 1, 2, 3 days. And we've already covered an entire month of macro movement in 3 days of micro movement. So now, if we think about, in retrospect, if we were back in that time, and had we known this on August 5th, and watched this go, it caught itself here, and it went out in front of itself, and out in front of all of this macro movement wasn't here. But in 1, 2, 3, and by the 4th day, we would have known, oh my God, this is our movement for the next month. And what I'm finding is 5 days equals a month, roughly. Roughly. 5 days equals somewhere between 20 and 30 days. 5 days of micro movement equals between 20 and 30 days of macro movement in the future. It's showing us future. So let's keep going. Okay, this is absolute. I am so, oh my gosh, guys. Woo, I'm excited. I'm telling you, the last video I screamed and yelled and everything. I was uploading it and I had to delete it because I knew that it would be too much. So I needed to calm down to do this. Here it is. I didn't want to seem like a pump king or a pump queen. So here it is again. All right, let's keep following. Let me move this over. Let me move this over. September 16th. Okay, here we go. Down in. Down in. All right, flatten off. We start back up. We make the same movement again, right? Look, 1, 2, 3. We come down. We flatten off, and we make a corner. Look. 3. We come down. We flatten off. I'm going to zoom it in so you can see it a little better. Stretch it out. There we go. We come down. We flatten off. We make the corner, right? We come down in. We make a W. Now, this is a little stretched out, and this is what I talked about, them speeding up and slowing down, and you're going to see this one more time in this, and I'll show you where when we get there. Here's our W. Let's move it over. Now we're at October 21st, right? So we've went July, August, September, October. 4 months worth of movement. 4 months worth of movement in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. 10 days, call it. So there, see how it got extended there? And I'm going to do some calculations, some math calculations later to see if I can connect the days of movement from micro to macro, which will then give me absolute time frames as far as where future movement's going to go. Okay? So here's October. Yeah, I made that too big. Okay. October 21st movement, right? Here's another time where it got slowed down and spread out on the micro, right? 1, 2, 3, right? Down flat, inside corner. 1, 2, 3. Right here, sorry. 1, 2, 3, down flat, inside corner, right? November 23rd, inside corner. All right, so now let's move November 23rd over. Okay. November 23rd, we come down in, come the whole way down, we work our way down in, we get flat, we come down in, we make a W. We come down in, we make a W. We come back up, we have a box top pennant formation. I talk about these all the time. Look, box top pennant formation. Now this is where we're at currently in our macro, right? We're there right now, right here. Here's our box top pennant on the micro, box top pennant on the micro. And here's this. Does this look familiar? Because I put this in on the current micro chart, right? Which I'll show you in a minute. So now, let's recap. What did we just do? We just went through the 10-minute micro movements from July 15th to August 9th. Why'd you do that? Oh, well. We just took the 10-minute micro movements from July 15th down here to August 9th, right here. And that led us from July 15th to December 31st on the macro and showed us all of our movements. All of them. Right? And this is where we're at right now in this. Right? Here's our move up. Rejection, move up on the macro, or pull back. And I believe we're going to see this in the next week to come here. I believe this is our movement in the next week to come here. On the macro, right? We're going to see, as I just showed you, literally from July 15th to August 9th on the 10-minute, has been the exact same movement as July 15th to December 31st on the 4-hour macro. And then what I saw was in the current, right? So, well, let me go on. So, let's move this over. December 30th. So, if this is our movement, right? What is the possibility of what could happen, right? I don't know about this timeline. This was an original projection for me from way back when I first did this. So, don't pay no mind to this. This is the eventual movement here, but I'm going to show you is if this continues to show us future, which thus far it has, right? So why would we not think that it wouldn't now, right? And I'm going to show you, not only do we have, hold on. So if that's the case, right? And I just showed you it is the case the whole way through, right? This would be our next movement. I would think, the next, what did I say? 5 days. So the next 2, 3, 4 days. The next week, say, we get an upside move now, and then we pull back for the double bottom that I've been talking about, the double bottom scenario, right? And then we grind up out of here. This is showing so we would pull back kind of like this, but a little more spread out, I believe. And then we would grind up out of here. We would get this, right, like I did here. We would get this fake out, breakout, box top here, and then it would swing back down around and dissolve itself in. And then we go parabolic, look. And then we go parabolic up out of the descending wedge, the macro yellow descending wedge. So then here, this date here on the micro takes us to August 24th. This is where we ran up to $48 on August 24th from 32. Okay? This is where it starts all over again. And this thing starts and it plays itself out all over again. Okay? The same thing, this is what I was telling you guys, plays out all over again. But what I want to bring your attention to is, here, I'm going to show you real quick. So here we are again. Here's the start, right? Here it is, run up, and then it plays itself out all over again. Here it moves up. Here's the right here, the top with the down flat inside corner and those two candles. Look, here's the top, box top, down flat, the inside corner, the two candles. It works itself down into the double bottom. I mean, this is nuts, guys, right? So here's the thing. I just went from July 15th to August 24th, correct? And it showed us this entire movement and projected future movement in that small time frame, right? From July 15th, look where the start stop is, to August 24th. And then it starts over and it shows us the same thing here, the same thing here, the same thing here, and the same thing here. Now, what has happened is, in this, and what this indicates is, our micro now is showing us our future movement, right? This is darn it. Hey, Happy New Year, by the way. I hope you all are having a chill day. I hope this gets your tits jacked, because mine are. I literally had to remake this video because I was so excited in the first one, and then I was uploading it, and I thought, I can't put that out. I was swearing and everything, and I was screaming, I was yelling, and I've worked so hard to get to this point, y'all, and to find this, and those of you that follow me know that. Like, this is the absolute holy grail end game to everything, because this can be used on every algorithm that not only I've identified, but that anybody could potentially identify using my methods and strategies to identify them. And once you confirm that, then you go and you confirm this, and I'm going to show you how we're going to confirm this. We've already confirmed it, right? I just confirmed it with you. Now that it actually does show future price movement, right? Now I'm going to, in a compressed time period of that one time block, showed us the entire movement of future movement clear out to present day, right? Now, this is how we're going to do this moving forward. Are we just going to assume, am I just going to assume that this movement here, that it continues to show us from where it starts and stops again, that it's going to show us where we're going? No. I could, but no, I'm not. I'm going to show you what I'm going to end up doing here to prove this and to make sure I know what it's doing, right, ahead of time. This here was what I saw last week on Wednesday and Thursday, and saw that the micro 5-10 minute had caught up to the macro 4 hour in present time, right? This was in Wednesday and during Thursday. During Wednesday, during Thursday, this micro 5-10 minute movement caught up with this macro 4 hour, right? 14 days of movement, 2 days of movement. So where the confirmation is going to come is I keep saying we, but it's me. I'm going to use, and look here. So this is the current micro movement that we're in. Right? Look at this. This is another form of confirmation. Man, I hate that I have to do it like this on two screens like this for you guys. I wish I could set it up to where I can have both my full screens for you. This is current micro 10-minute movement. This is micro 10-minute movement back in August of this year. August 24th, to be exact, is the December 30th and December 31st comparison, which is where we're at now. December 30th and December 31st comparison. This is the micro movement that we are currently in, and this was what I just used to show you future movement. We're in the exact same place. So what I am planning on doing, right, is using this down here, because it just showed us everything from July 15th to December 31st in a period of time of July 15th to August 9th. A little more than a month of micro movement showed us all those months of movement on the macro, right? And now this has caught itself back up to it, and it's replicating the same thing on the micro, right? So now I have a micro to compare a past micro that showed us all of those months of confirmation that it would show us future price movement, and it did. And macro future, the head of the snake is the bottom chart, and then the tail of the snake was the macro that I just went through with you guys. It followed that micro movement. A month's worth of real quick micro movement, or a month and couple weeks, a month and a week of micro movement led that and showed, it indicated and showed what the next, July, August, September, October, November, December, 5 months of movement were. So now what I'm going to do is use this as my comparative micro and macro, right? Because it shows us here what the next macro movements are going to be, because it has shown us what the previous 5 months of micros were. So, or of macros were. So it's going to show us future macro now. But I'm not just going to take that for granted and think that this is the only one. I can also use this to compare it to present time and, present time micro movements, and whether or not they are the same in showing what is going to be future, not only micro movements, but future macro movements. Because we're in the same exact place on both of them. This is it, people. I have literally just laid this thing wide open. This means, I hope this made sense to you guys. Please let me know in the comments if it did. This literally means not only have I now proven it, I've back tested it right in front of you, but it also gives a comparative chart to look at to compare both our current and future micro movements, and then obviously our macro move. It's going to tell us where we're going in the future with our macro movements, because it's the snake theory of an algorithm. And I just proven that to you guys, and I've just back tested it in front of you live on this video. This is the absolute holy grail of the algorithm identification and the algorithm exposure and the getting these mother by the nuts. Like, this is it, guys. This is it. Like, no one. I've watched people in the past, and maybe someone's doing it now, but you would think if this is what they were putting out, if this is what they had found, that this would be everywhere for every ape, for every retail investor to see what I have just done. All of the combination of all of my videos for the AMC exposed algo leading up to this have been pieces of this puzzle, showing you what it was and how I had come to the conclusion that I was at. And this was the missing piece that I haven't been able to find. I have been searching for this for over a year and could not seem to visually and mentally put the pieces to the puzzle together. This last piece, I couldn't find it, and I couldn't connect the dots as to what some of the information I had meant, and I just did it, and I just showed you guys everything. I hope your lids are blown straight the you-know-what off. I'm trying not to swear because of obvious reasons with these videos. I hope it does. I hope you guys are just absolutely mind-struck, mind-blown, awestruck right now, and have no idea what to even think, because when I finally put this together today, and it was just like an hour ago, so I'm a little bit calmer now, this is unbelievable. I'm so jacked up right now to see this play out and to watch this come to fruition, because I just showed you it did for the last 5 months. And 1 month of micro movement just showed us, it projected and predicted and showed us ahead of time what the following 5 months of trading were going to be. Now, I do believe this is going to continue to show us that. And this may be in the future after that. Or they may just be the same. And so far they are, as you can see here. And it's just a confirmation tool. That's just what I'm going to be paying attention to moving forward. Is it a confirmation tool? Is this telling us now, is our current micro movements going to be telling us what's going to happen after the next run up that we're about to have? These are things I'm weighing out, but either way, I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got them, and I got this algorithm in its entirety. We now will know where future price movement is going. Period. Woo! I'm so jacked. Listen, if you made it to the end of the video, I know it was long. It was a half an hour of your time. Thank you so much for watching it. Do me a favor. Let me know in the comments if this made sense. If I articulated it well enough for you to really get it, if you can visualize, if you were able to visually see this and visualize what it means for the future, if you understood the back testing and the proving part of it, and let me know that in the comments, please. Also, I've done a coffee thing and charts in the morning on Sundays a couple times. If you're interested in doing that tomorrow and we can take our time and go over this even more, let me know in the comments, and I'll get that scheduled, and we'll do it tomorrow morning, like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. We'll do a live stream and go over this. And that's all it'll be, is just going over this and talking about this. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments as well. Like the video, please. The interaction helps. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, dude, subscribe to the channel. Do you see what it is that I'm doing here? This is nuts. This is groundbreaking, mind-blowing stuff that I'm doing on the regular. And man, I really hope you guys all get behind me on this one. I've put out some good content from beginning till now. And I've only been doing this for about a month. This may be obviously in combination with everything, but this here, in my opinion, is the best piece of content, the best piece of DD, confirmation, everything that I've ever done. This pulls the whole thing together. So do me a favor, for all of my Extreme Gains family, for all my subscribers and followers, share the shit out of this. Get this thing out to every ape, to every retail investor. They need to see this. This is groundbreaking stuff. Do me that favor, y'all, and hold on to our hats, because not only does this open up a world of forever for us, because this can be used on everything. This confirmation method can be used on every identified algo, and it can be, and it's infinity, because the entire market's ran off of it. So this is for even after all of this. It just pulls everything I've done in this last entire year and some odd weeks and months, whatever. This pulls everything together. So I would appreciate your support with that, with getting this out there. And let's hold on to our hats, because it's about to get interesting as far as being able to know what's happening and what's going to happen in the future, as well as making plays based off that when we can confirm it, and we have a confirmation system to do that, as well as what's going to happen with the run-ups and stuff, and when we're breaking out of this thing. So, and then, my gosh, if you guys do share this and get this out, it's going to absolutely explode. I don't see how any way in the world that it can't. This is unbelievable. I won't scream this time. I'm super jacked right now. I appreciate all your support and help in doing all this. I thank you guys. Let me know about tomorrow. I will see you all in the next video or in the next live stream. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll talk to you then. Later.